Hey guys, Coldbrew here. Welcome back to another King Arthur Legends Rise video. Thank you to Netmarble for sponsoring today's video and the channel. Guys, check out the game if you are not already. There's going to be a download link below in the description and comments of today's video. We're going to go over some of the rares that exist in this game that are actually better than what you might think. You might not be using them. You might have been using them already, but not using the right relic. We're going to go over these heroes, only the 5 which I consider the top ones. I do have most of the rares in the game. There's not that many heroes in the game yet, but I still think they are very usable and very much needed to put in the effort and actually try them out in different areas of the game. So let's sort out the legendaries here and let's find the rares. Okay, there's number of rares in this game, okay, we all know it, but the relics is what makes their skills different and makes each relic much more important in specific areas of the game. So we're going to cover 5 specific rares and their specific relics that I think are the best uses for your account out there. There's of course all of these rares have their use cases depending on what you're missing from the account. Let's say you're missing one specific legendary that might do turn meter control, attack gauge control, as it is in this game. You might have to use a rare instead. So the first example of one of the top 5 rares is going to be K. MVP. At the start we all get K. She carries us on because she's got a 5-hit default attack. Okay, 5-hit default attack gives you the vigor back, and then she also has this 4-hitting second skill which does tremendous amounts of damage on single target, and a fantastic quad hitting AoE attack on her third skill which uses 3 vigor, which for the most part you won't be using for, let's say, all of the areas of the game. Sometimes you'll be using their first skill because it's a 5-hitting attack, but other times you might want to be considering using this AoE attack, especially for PvP. She shines, and she's basically my first ever Chivalry 10 rare. I did this because I was using her everywhere, and I'm still using her in many areas of the game, even though I've got legendaries that do specific roles that have the ability to replace K. At this point, I still have used her and do use her in specific situations where I need another big hard hitter. So until I start replacing her, we're gonna be using K on the account for some time. So next rare on the list, guys, we're gonna go along this line here. By the way, Arthur, I think Arthur needs like a small buff in my opinion. If you guys think of the opposite of that, please leave it down below in the comments, because I think Arthur needs a little bit of a buff. I mean, he's the face of the game, right? So he should have been a little bit stronger. Anyway, so the next one up on the list is going to be Anguish with his Frost Relic, the one that you get as default. The reason that the Frost Relic is so nice, he can apply chill with his first attack. Very nice damage also, but the chill effect is pretty cool. It actually allows to take damage minus 3% of max HP each turn, but also lowers the attack speed by 5%. Then we have the second skill, which, if the target has a dog, can completely steal buffs from an enemy. This is useful in the training part of the game. It's one of the things you do in the first couple of days of playing the game. You actually have to use Anguish in there to steal the buffs from the enemy, but also can be used in specific dungeons for your progression. And this is key in order to push forward. Anguish does very nice work, and he also has a 5-hit attack which also applies chill. Fantastic skill, and it can be very high damaging as well. I think Anguish is just fantastic. So once you start utilizing him, also focus on his Chivalry and you won't regret it. So next one on the list, we're gonna go through some of these rares, unfortunately, and skip them for this one, but it's gonna be Isolde. The reason for Isolde that she is so good is because she is a fantastic healer. Currently, I don't have her green relic. Unfortunately, her green relic can also remove 3 dots from all allies, which is fantastic for Gorgos, but I don't have that one. Once you do get her green relic, though, this is just fantastic. It does a big heal AoE and then grants all allies also recovery over time on her 3 vigor skill. Her 2 vigor skill is an AoE heal plus recovery over time, and then her first skill is a bleed attack which can be useful for taking down enemies, as the bleed does 3% damage each turn on a boss, for example. And it's just fantastically to pair her together with Anguish, and she can also pair in together with our boy right here, Tristan, which we all get for free at the start. So these are the top 3 so far that I've seen in terms of rares. Let's go to number 4. It's gonna be Rosier, but the red relic Rosier, okay, the fire Rosier. The reason for this is that she does a triple hit with a bleed, chance to actually apply a bleed on enemies. Then we have the second skill, which if affected by a buff can gain hit accuracy, but if affected by a debuff gets attack speed increase, and she also heals back a little bit. But then her third attack, look at this, sacrifices 10% of health but does a 5-hit attack, and then has also additional chance for the last 2 hits to inflict bleed, and a 40% chance to boost her attack gauge by 100% and trigger Hook of Death, which Hook of Death is basically another double hit attack right there. So this is again fantastic for the boar dungeon. So this is a rare that you shouldn't be skipping on. Fortunately and unfortunately, I have all her relics. I'm saying unfortunately because I think I do have all her relics. Yeah, have them all. It's unfortunate because I want to eventually get all of them to a respectable level. So it's going to be a lot of investment from my part. And then finally, guys, we're going to go over Turin here with the green relic. This time, the reason for the green relic and why this is so good is for her third skill, which also can give an effect increase on resistance, a attack speed increase for 2 turns on all allies, and then also independently heal each ally by 15.7% of Turin's max health. She works very well if you pair her together with Morgan as well. So her second skill grants all allies effect accuracy increase and defense increase, and if the weather is 9, grants all allies also recovery over time. So that's why I've mentioned Morgan, because when Morgan drops to low health, she puts it into night mode, puts the whole field into night mode. It's kind of funny, but that's why they work well together at the start. If you are lacking like a good healer, you can use those 2 together. And then the first skill attacks one enemy 29% attack damage. Each point of resistance increases damage per hit, and then heals the ally with the lowest health by 10.7% of Turin's max HP plus 150. So she can be a healer. She can boost attack speed. She can effect increase, and then she can also heal all allies with that. That A3 is very strong. And you should be using her if you're lacking a healer and you're seeing your progression stall. So these 5 rares, dependent on their relics, perform very, very, very well. Other rares that I've seen that have specific use cases, and I'm saying that it all depends on the relics, is for example a colon here. Sarah is also good. I believe 2 of her relics are good and 1 of them is not that great. Ban I've seen being used before. Boars, the same thing. It's just that in my opinion, these are the top 5 rares that you should be putting in your resources, and especially your chivalry, in order to get them to maximum chivalry. So I have K, I believe, on my 10 chivalry, and I think I've got Anguish, the next one, who's very close. He's 5. Rosier is at 7. Isolde is at 4, and then everybody else is like 2, maybe 3 maximum from all the rares that I have. So this was the video, guys, on the top rares in King Arthur's Legend Rise. Remember, relics play a huge role in this game. It's like having a whole separate hero. So each hero has 3 relics that they can use, and sometimes one of them is better than the other for just overall usage. So keep your eye on that. It's not always the one that you summon that is the best one. So check that one out. Thank you guys for watching. Download the game. Thank you again to Netmarble for sponsoring today's video on the channel. Thank you, King Arthur Legends Rise. Try the game out, guys. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.